It is time for my 3 and 3 books recommendations for the month of May, and this month's theme is memoirs, so stay tuned. Hey y'all, it's Jen and welcome to my channel, Ifers Inklings. Today I have for you my 3 and 3 series for the month of May 2018, and today's theme is memoirs. I have 3 memoirs I want to talk about. One I currently own, the other 2 I will just put a picture up over here. And again, if you're not familiar with the 3 and 3 series, this is just 3 books that I have read that fit this category. They are not necessarily my favorites, but they are just 3 that fit the topic of the month. These 3 happen to be favorites of mine. Let's dive in and get started with our first memoir. So the first one I want to talk about is Born a Crime by Trevor Noah. I listened to this on audio, which is also narrated by Trevor Noah. So if you're interested in memoirs, I definitely recommend that you check out his audiobook version of this, although I'm sure that the actual physical book is phenomenal as well. But this is a memoir about life growing up in apartheid South Africa and being mixed race. So in South Africa, during this time, it was completely illegal for a white person and a black person to be together in any way. It was illegal. Trevor Noah was actually mixed race. He's biracial. He has a white father and a black mother. And so this was his life growing up. And it talks about the hard times that he had being pretty much raised by a single mom and then an abusive stepfather, and how the community in itself, he was always kind of ostracized. He was well educated and well spoken, but he was an outcast still, being mixed race. He was even an outcast among both races because he didn't fit into either one of them. So it was very interesting, and it was interesting to learn about the apartheid in South Africa. And it was also filled with humor and with hope. And I really enjoyed the strength that his mother showed, and how that kind of impacted Trevor Noah's life as well. It was a phenomenal read, and I highly recommend it. The next memoir is Boy Erased, a memoir of identity, faith, and family by Jerrod Connelly. And I've talked about this one before on my channel. This is also becoming a movie that is out in September of 2018. I can't wait till it is out. I actually heard him speak last year at a Arkansas Literary Festival. And he was a gay man growing up in Arkansas and being raised by a preacher. Southern Baptist, I believe, was their religion. But when it was discovered that he was gay, his father flipped his shit and sent him to a conversion camp. And so this tells about his teenage life and early college life going, and his experience going through that conversion camp. It is poignant and horrific, and definitely one that I think is well told. There are some aspects of humor in this as well, but it is not a funny book, and that's all I can say there. But definitely pick it up. Like I said, there are funny moments in it, and there are some. It is kind of told with a little bit of humor in it, but it is not a laughing matter at all, and you can get that. You feel that through this story as well. I highly recommend Boy Erased also. Now the final one I want to talk about is As You Wish, by Kary, and this is the memoir about the making of The Princess Bride. It was very entertaining. I actually listened to the audiobook version of this, and it is narrated by Kary. But all throughout the memoir of the actual book, there are little excerpts from the other characters and what they thought about it, about the character they portrayed. And they made guest appearances in the audiobook version, so it was a cast of characters. It was phenomenal to listen to, and it was very entertaining to be able to hear the stories and about the making of A Princess Bride, which is a phenomenal cult classic that I grew up on, and of course I've introduced my kids to it as well. And just hearing the stories, hearing how it came together, because it took years and years and years to get this movie made, and nobody knew how to do it or how to market it, but you get Rob Reiner and you get William Goldman, you get all of their stories as well, and it is just a phenomenal and fascinating book to read and or listen to. I actually already knew a lot of the stories because I had watched the I guess it was the 30th anniversary film that came out last summer, and at the beginning and end of that film they had parts where where they interviewed the some of the different cast members and the director and the writer. And so I knew a lot of the stories already, and but even still, the book was still interesting and entertaining, even though I knew most of what I already knew everything it was telling me. So those are the 3 books that I recommend in my 3 and 3 for the month of May of Memoirs. If you do this, and please, if you're interested in this, absolutely do it. I would love for more people to do this as well. Be sure and let me know in the comments below if you're going to do this. June is going to be all about the summer beach reads. So if you want to jump in May with the memoirs, that would be amazing. Or if you want to jump in with your recommendations in June with the summer beach reads, that would also be amazing. Just let me know in the comments below so I can be sure and go check out your video when you get that posted. And until next time, if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. As always, my social media is all linked down below. Come say hi to me over on Twitter or on Instagram. And until next time, bye.